in this time period, I want people to come to have a greater understanding that life is not promised, tomorrow is not promised. So, whatever family member or friend or loved one that had problems with in the past, that you haven't talked to in a long period of time, I think this is a great time to come to call that person or meet up with that person or talk to that person, and just squash it, because tomorrow's not promised. You don't want to live with regrets. You don't want to live with the regret of, I never got to talk to him or tell this person I loved them before it was too late. So once again, my heart and my prayers go out to everyone that's devastated by this tragedy. My prayers go out to Kobe Bryant's family, his wife, his other kids, his family, and of course to all the other families that was also lost, and also the kids, the parents, all of them. My heart goes out to you, sincerely. And I just want to say this before the podcast begins, and hope you enjoy the podcast.
You guys know that, if you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you guys can understand that, then what you'll see happen is that you won't accomplish your dreams. Your dreams won't come true. Something greater will. And if you guys can understand that, then I'm doing my job as a father. Thank you guys so much. I love you. And Mamba out. Thus far.
Welcome to the Voiceless podcast. This is the third episode, and this episode is pretty tough, because of what happened this week or at the beginning of this week. But before we even dive into the main topics, I'm going to introduce to my immediate right, we have
Reese, you feel me? Like some call me Reese Reese, some call me Richie Rich, some see me with a bitch, but nah, it's Reese.
And then to my far right, we have
Very humbled Joaquim. I'm pretty much in shock. I'm just looking at Kobe tweets and responses to the death of everybody's hero.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're going to start off this podcast with. The main topic is Kobe. So my first question to Reese will be, what were you doing and how did you find out about Kobe's passing?
I actually woke up and I got a text from my brother, and he had told me last year when Nip passed, and so I just got this feeling like, nah, like the night before we were just watching Bryant pass his record and him tweeting about it, and it's that whole day it didn't feel like right. Like I was shocked. Like I'm still in shock, but that day it didn't register for some reason. And yeah, I was hurt.
Yeah. What about you, Jakeem?
Oh man, in a way, it's hard to describe. That morning, I woke up just driving people to work, vibing in the car, listening to music. Trying to start a good Sunday. And I'm making my way back to Vallejo. I get to the toll booth, and it's a good thing that as black men we have like a different level of understanding, because he saw me, he seen my mood, so he must have known like something hadn't told me. So the guy at the toll booth was like, "Hey man, you heard what happened to Kobe?" And I was like, "LeBron passed him for the scoring list on third." Like I've been working. I had no idea. I hadn't checked my phone. It wasn't on Instagram. And he told me, Kobe died in a helicopter crash. And I don't know. I pretty much was just stuck. Like I handed him my money, and I probably didn't say anything the rest of the drive home. Like I was shook.
Yeah, similar to you, Reese. I got a text from my oldest brother, um, who lives down in LA area, and he had texted me and he had messaged me talking about how he felt, sick about what happened to Kobe. And anytime I get a message from him that is like super serious, because he's always joking around, I'm like, oh no, what happened? So then at that moment, it was around probably like 11, close to 12. Then I went on social media, and for me, that's how I get most of my news anyway, is on social media. And then I start to see all the posts, all the tributes to Kobe. So just to give people a background to all the people that are listening, Sunday morning around 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. in Calabasas, California, there was the helicopter crash that left 9 victims. So Kobe and his daughter, Gianna, who was 13 years old, along with the 7 others as well, which is John Altobelli, Carrie Altobelli, and Alyssa Altobelli. Alyssa Altobelli was 13. She was also on the same team as Kobe's daughter, Gianna. And then the rest as well was the top assistant coach, which was Christina Malser. And forgive me if I'm getting people's names or not pronouncing it at its best, but then the pilot, and then also it was Sarah and Peyton Chester. And Peyton Chester was also on the basketball team, and she was 13 years old. So 9 victims. For me, it's just, when I think about it overall, it's definitely surprising, and not only that, it kind of just makes me think about like his daughter Gianna, because for me, though it's very tough to even put into words, and I really look at Kobe, and for all those families I feel sorrow for, and I pray for all those families. But when I think of Gianna and I think of all the kids that was involved in the crash, I'm like, man, they didn't even get to live out their dreams yet, or they were in pursuit of that. So
10 times worse.
yeah, 10 times worse in my mind as well. So it's like, but when I also think of Kobe, and of course, the whole world seems like they're mourning right now. It doesn't even feel the same. You know how, because in life, there's death, and you kind of try to get used to it, or you try to, you grow numb to it in a sense, especially due to social media and the news and how much is shown. But with Kobe and with deaths like this, it seems like it's kind of hard to even really, get over it. And like, even as time passes by, it seems like it just won't be the same still.
It really won't. And like, really, he was the first social media basketball superstar. Like, Twitter started, Kobe was winning his championships. Like, his influence over social media has been there from the jump, and he he has his stands, and like, deservedly so, because he is like basically, if not the one of the best players to ever play the game. And just the fact that his daughter was with him is just, that shit is just heartbreaking. Like, you gotta try to think, like, how does the wife Vanessa feel? Like, that's a ripple effect, and that I don't know, that's just something that is just tragic. And he's been everywhere since I was born. Like, since I've been able to watch basketball, Kobe's been on the TV dominating, and it's just it's just a shocking,
And you can even see in the
sad day.
yeah, you can even see in the clip how like LeBron took it right away. You got to kind of think about LeBron just passed him on the all-time scoring list, and he even got like Kobe tweeted out to him the night before, and then like the next day, you come to hear this news right in the morning about Kobe. It's like it's 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 devastating. And then even the Lakers and Clippers game that's supposed to be played on Tuesday, which is today, was canceled as well. What do you think about the game being canceled?
I feel like all games that day should have been canceled. You had players on the court just being emotional, like just crying. Like it's sometimes it's like the game doesn't matter. Like they're under like the bright lights. Like, it's the show, and you just it was probably hard for everybody on that court because everybody in my generation just looked up to Kobe, and people in the league are basically around my age, and so I don't know. I wouldn't know if I would be able to
Man,
play.
it's like I don't know. I mean, I'm a football player. There's literally no comparison. Like, I mean, I don't want to even think about comparing a death to another death, but I couldn't imagine any basketball player passing away and every player on the court looking distraught. It just, I don't know. His impact is like bigger than basketball. Like, in religion, you're supposed to look up, idolize one man, God. That's it. But growing up, Kobe was a lot of our heroes. Like, it was ridiculous. I didn't even know basketball like that, but Kobe Bryant's name.
That's very true. Like I kind of look at it like hearing about this, it's almost as if in my mind, no one ever pictured any of this like Kobe dying or anything like that. He was definitely bigger than basketball. Um,
Definitely.
Definitely bigger than basketball. And like for me, I didn't really start to appreciate watching Kobe until later in his career, just simply because I grew up a LeBron James fan. And I grew up in kind of like in the era of starting to watch basketball when LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul. So I kind of was, I clinged more into that era. But eventually, of course, you started to get the talks of LeBron versus Kobe, the comparisons. So, and then as we see even some of the clips, like, I mean, Kobe, he was just he was just on another level, just on another
At all
level
times.
at all times. Like, and even I think that's why I started to appreciate him more as he got older, because as you get older, you start to lose some of your athletic ability. You have to rely more on your skills and rely on more of, beating people mentally. And that's when,
He was one of the best at that.
exactly. And for me, I never had the athletic ability. So I was like, man, I got to kind of learn the game and try to portray my game after
Little
Kobe.
nuances.
Oh my God! See, thinking about you just saying how you learned in the slightest way from just watching Kobe play. Like, I remember a time JV basketball sophomore year where physically I'm physically faster, I'm stronger, I jump higher, I feel better than a bunch of players. Now, Meech is always going to be a better basketball player than me, but I got a little bit more athleticism than my guy. But I'm telling you, I couldn't defend this man for nothing. Every shot was draining, and the varsity players were pumping him up and pumping him up, shot after shot. Now, I'm telling you, and you know what that did to me on the defensive end? I wanted to go harder, so I'm closing out on a shot in the corner, just like that. I run out to the edge. Meech puts it up before I get there. I bang into him, knock him on the ground, turn around just to watch the ball hit nothing but net.
I'm glad that you brought up my sophomore year, because
Devastating.
if you'd have brought up the freshman year, it
don't
wasn't the
wanna talk
same.
about that
We don't
one,
want to talk about that one.
Bro.
We don't want to talk about that year.
I think that was my only professional year in high school.
Man, but
But it's like it don't even like it transcends sports. Like the Mamba mentality transcends sports. and he was just an inspiration to just anybody doing anything, and you just knew, like, when you heard about Kobe, it was just
Mamba
you had to
mentality
respect him. You had
transcends
to,
life.
yeah, and just as a fan, it was fun to watch. Rooting for and against, it was fun to watch.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Kobe as the show goes on, but it's time to
Make him the logo.
Oh yeah, definitely making the logo.
Oh man!
Didn't even Jerry West recently just said like he doesn't even want to be the logo no more?
Hey, he really passed the torch literally then.
Yeah.
Well deserved. To Kobe Bryant too. Come on now.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna continue the show talking more about Kobe, but let's talk about something that's a little bit more uplifting in a sense.
Oh God.
Let's talk about the Niners, and let's talk about our Super Bowl predictions.
Let's talk about the Niners.
As we know, the Super Bowl is this upcoming Sunday. It's the 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Jimmy Garoppolo versus Patrick Mahomes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Oh, no. Start the controversies. Start all the quarterback debates about who's going to be the quarterback of the future. Because Patrick Mahomes is going to be here for a very long time. But I believe I spoke a lot of down talk on Jimmy G, but that man showed up this year. I mean, I couldn't say C.J. Beathard could have made this Niner team this good.
I'm not gonna lie, I do not know who CJ Beathard is.
Exactly. I love you, CJ.
Okay.
That's the backup quarterback. We got CJ Mullins. Oh, yeah. We got Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. None of them could have made the Niners go 19-3. Excuse me. Look, they got me all excited. 13-3.
Yeah.
They played pretty good, but Jimmy G was bred different. I like that guy.
He gonna have to throw more than 8 passes this game. I know that for a fact.
I hope not.
So let's give the people a background for you, Reese. What team are you a fan
who are we
of?
supporting in this game coming up?
So
here?
me, I don't have no kind of rooting
Loyalty
capacity in this Super Bowl. I'm a Raiders fan, and I will always be a Raiders fan. So I can't win either way. We see the Chiefs twice a year, and the Niners, they were a Bay Area rival.
Oh yeah,
it hurts me to say.
A few of those teams aren't in the Bay Area. Actually, both of them, because I don't even know where Santa Clara is.
Isn't it still in the Bay?
Not exactly. It's kind of closer. Like, well, I mean, do you consider San Jose in the Bay Area?
I think that's a different segment for a different day, my brother. That's gonna make some people mad. Let's just give San Jose yeah, they're the Bay Pass. Let's just give them the Bay Pass.
All right,
they get hyphy.
So,
and, but
whoa,
I think that it's going to be about whoever can get the most stops, and when it comes down to it, I just trust that y'all defense could probably stop their offense better than their defense can stop your offense. With that said, it's still Patrick Mahomes, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs 34-30.
Oh, wow.
34-30? Oh.
34-30.
I guess. I mean, the defense is going to stop our offense better than our defense would stop their. Okay, name 3 people on that Kansas City defense right now. You can name 3 people on the Niners front 4. But go ahead and name 3 people on that defensive
end. They got Terrell Suggs.
T-Sizzle.
They got Frank Clark. And they got the Honey Badger.
Okay, Frank Clark, he come from the Colts? What's that guy? No.
The Seahawks.
Oh, 55, huh? Not bad.
Yes, sir.
Not bad. Okay, I can name 11 players on that defensive end for the Niners that are going to come to play.
You should. That's your childhood team. That's your team, bro.
Those boys are dogs. They got about 4 pit bulls on the defensive line that just do the job. They're literally first-round picks at every position. It's scary to think about that.
That's how you draft.
Man, It's scary to think about the Niners being good, but I mean, if we would have started this podcast 3 years ago, it would have been scary to talk about how good the Warriors were. But hey,
Or the Raiders for a certain period.
oh my, who? No, they had a pretty good run that year.
The Raiders.
Yes, sir.
So you said 34-30. What would you say the score going to be, Jakeem?
Actually, I played Madden earlier today.
Okay.
I put the Chiefs against the Niners, and I played them on all Madden. And this is my Super Bowl prediction. I beat them like 72-0, so I think it's gonna be about the same, maybe 63-0.
See that tape.
They're gonna get.
63-0.
I think the Niners are gonna go away, and blow them out, just like the Broncos got beat pretty bad against the Seahawks. That Super. I think it's gonna be something like that. The game's gonna be over first quarter. Jimmy G's gonna get to sit, follow me back on Instagram, or no, unblock me on Instagram, and he's gonna have a really, really nice day. I believe he's gonna throw the ball 6 times. We're gonna run that rock. I actually think that Tevin Coleman is gonna have a fantastic day out of the backfield. I mean,
Is anybody running for 200?
200 yards in the Super Bowl. I'm going to say my favorite candidate to run for 200 yards is the entire offense of that 49er. Because that accumulative rush, like, they put in so much effort. Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, Tevin Coleman. They hand the ball to one time. George Kittle, he'll go for like 15. Then they hand it to Deebo Samuel. You'll forget he's a wide receiver. Turns into a running back on the play. It's remarkable. I mean, one guy will get 40. Another guy will get 15. Somebody else will have 60. Before you know it, they'll have 200 rushing yards. And 5 different guys that rush the ball that day.
So you saying 72-0?
That's the score.
At the end of the day, that's what you said.
Hey, Madden doesn't lie. That game is real, isn't it, guys?
It's tough for me. It's
To say that's real.
Yeah, nobody was there. I have no
Where you
proof.
go?
It was just me. I was the only one playing. But I'm telling you, I'm
I
not
actually
good at
played
Madden.
another game of Madden. It was right after this one.
He watched me play that second game. I struggled, but I was hot though.
I think it's tough for me. I'm a Niners fan, so I'm rooting for the Niners in this Super Bowl. I don't want to see them lose 2
You're a
Super
strong
Bowls
butt.
in a row. But it's tough. It's tough because I think the Niners are the better team, but I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs have the better quarterback, and that's just being honest. Like, if I had to choose right now, I
That's
believe.
just being logical.
Yeah, like that's
It's just being logical.
like I believe I'm confident with the
Put
Niners.
Patrick Mahomes on the Niners, they running a whole different
Oh yeah,
offense.
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. But that's the tough part for me is that the only person I kind of look at as somewhat the downfall of the Niners, just because the Niners are so great, is the quarterback. Though Jimmy G is a good quarterback, I still have to kind of trust in him in a sense. He's got to grow on me. So, but with that being said, I believe the game's going to be close. I believe the Niners are going to start off really hot, and they're going to be beating the Kansas City Chiefs. And then later, as the game progresses, like after halftime, I believe the Chiefs is going to start to come back. But I feel like the game's going to end. It's going to be 31-27. The Niners are going to win. But it's going to be a close game. And it's gonna get a little scary because I feel like Patrick Mahomes, as time goes by, he's gonna start heating up, but it's gonna be too late.
It's gonna be.
It's eventually
tight.
gonna happen.
It's gonna be tight.
It just depends on like how often it happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. 72-0 is a really tight score. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Put money on that score, bro.
I get a little spreadsheet. I don't know how to get 72 points in 4 quarters, but somehow.
Hack the scoreboard.
The Niners, man. I believe in them. It's weird, man.
It's gonna be a great game though.
It's like that 73-9 season of the Warriors. Somehow, some way, you just believe that they have to get it done.
That's not 72-0, nigga.
Yeah, you're right.
It might be though. It could be.
Definitely.
But it's gonna be a great game because it's just like the best offense in the league against the best defense in the league.
Who's gonna have the better game, George Kittle or Travis Kelce? The 2 tight ends. which could be the two best tight ends in the game right now.
They are.
Yeah.
And with Antonio Gates retiring, he's definitely
He
had a
wasn't
great
even in the conversation.
career.
The last
Yeah, I
couple
don't.
years,
I
bro.
thought
No,
he.
I
I
mean-
thought he retired a couple years ago.
Nah, in the league,
That's
he was
tough.
still in the league. So his career and his overall accomplishments, they really do outweigh George Kittle and Travis Kelce. But boy, what a couple good tight ends we have
Ability
going forward.
wise, they're the best
Man,
two tight ends. in the
Going
league.
forward, they're going to be really good. They're going to be dangerous. They're going to have
They
a
are
lot
already
of yards,
the best
a
two
lot
tight
of
ends in the
targets.
league.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it, last year? Broke the tight end single season. Like, if George Kittle didn't break it, Travis Kelce was 10 yards behind him, and he broke the record as well. So, crazy. Two tight ends break the same single season rushing yard record in the same year. Patrick Mahomes throws 50 touchdowns on one end, wins the MVP. On the other end, the Niners end, 5-11, and
I think Kittle's gonna get more, have more yards.
in the game.
Just because he's so much of a weapon, and at the end of
It's
the day, I
tough.
feel like he's y'all primary target
Since we're
in
going
the
to talk
passing
about
game.
it,
And
I
when it comes to the
believe-
Chiefs, Travis Kelce he's one of the passing targets.
Definitely. So I'm thinking to myself, George Kittle's really good. I mean, he's a problem, but Travis Kelce, he's definitely going to have more yards. He's going to have more targets in the game. I mean, the Niners, we have a running offense. We don't really target Travis. I mean, we don't really target George Kittle often,
They gonna put
but when we
12 in
do,
the box, bro.
that's fine. That's
So you
fine.
want-
We have
Y'all
Joe
gonna have to
Staley.
pass the ball,
We have
bro.
Justin School. We have a pretty good offensive line, and we have an even better
y'all
defensive
offensive
line.
is out there bullying.
Could you imagine
the whole
practicing
Packers
against that team?
defense.
Practice against that front four all year and tell me your offensive line isn't going to be good. They have to be battle ready. Joe Staley is a veteran. He's teaching our rookie beautiful technique. I mean, we have great coaching. Even when we do like fall off at one position, next man up, even if he's not hurt. I've seen coach sub out corners for missing one play, and that corner doesn't get back on the field. And we win that game because of that one decision.
So for me, I'm gonna have to
In the
say.
Super Bowl.
So for me, I'm gonna have to say that though I'm going with the Niners to win it all, it's tough for me to say that George Kittle is going to outplay Travis Kelce just simply because when the Niners win,
It's not our offense.
it's like, how does Jimmy G even really throw the ball too much? Like, what is that
I
against
feel
the Vikings?
To
Like
touch
I
on-
said, he's gonna
Yeah,
have-
to touch
they're
on
gonna
that
put
point.
12 in the box if they have to.
To touch on that point, there was a point, there was a
12.
period of time where over 4 quarters of play, and that would be the end of 2 quarters and the next 2 quarters to begin, I think it was, that Green Bay game. You know, they said Jimmy G had thrown the ball 12 times combined. A total of 6 passes in the end 2 quarters and 6 passes in the beginning of the next 2 quarters. Now you check the score, 24-0 up on the Packers before they realized the game started.
Yeah.
That's a whole different team.
I mean, the
even going
Packers-
into the playoffs, people were doubting the Packers.
I don't know
Don't
if they
tell
were.
me anybody considers the Packers an actual threat to win the Super Bowl.
They had Aaron Rodgers. If you have Aaron Rodgers,
That's
they
like saying, oh, they had Drew Brees. Like, these quarterbacks are different now, bro. They're
Yeah,
not the
Drew-
same quarterbacks as they used to.
Hey, the
be.
Saints were. I mean, that's a different topic, but the Saints were supposed to do a lot better than this.
Yes.
The Saints were supposed to be.
It's
With
hard
Teddy
to
Bridgewater, they
handle.
was going crazy.
It's impossible to handle. The
They were
Saints.
going
I love
crazy
the
with Teddy
Saints.
Bridgewater.
I love the Saints. I really do.
What was I about to say about
Very
the
good
Chiefs?
team. Oh,
Yeah.
wrong way.
You're good.
There we go.
So, before we move on, let's say the scores once again. You had
34-30.
for the Chiefs.
I mean, Madden predicted 72-0, but if we're going to be any type of realistic, I guess I'll give them a shootout. I want to see that 52-49 score that the LA Rams put up against the Chiefs that last regular season. That sounds really
If it's
close.
a shootout, then y'all not running the ball.
Yeah, we shoot out and we run the ball. 24 and 2 quarters. We'll see.
And and I got the 49ers 31-27. So before we end
the
off,
opposite of a shootout.
so before we end off on the last topic before we end off the
Patrick Mahomes
show,
go MVP. Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, if the Chiefs win, he should become MVP, but they just not gonna win.
They just gonna put one safety back there. They're gonna let the Honey Badger roam. You feel me? And everybody gonna man up. They gonna put like 7 in the box. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to see this.
Oh, actually, we didn't even say who we think gonna win MVP. You just said Patrick Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes.
Ooh, what about the Niners though?
So if the Niners win, or excuse me,
When the Niners win.
when the Niners win, when the Niners win their 6th ever Super Bowl, they're gonna go ahead and make sure that Jimmy G somehow miraculously comes out with the MVP because he's gonna have to make some throws. Now this game is gonna be close, like I said, 52-49. So he's gonna have to make some really good decisions.
Wait, that was your
That's my realistic prediction. My Madden prediction, my Madden isn't really good.
He said, let me just dust it off a
little. I had to hit the little
Shave a
eraser.
little bit off.
Yes, sir. Shaving points like who used to shave? No, it's a different conversation. I love sports, man. I swear I could talk about this all day. I swear.
Who's gonna be MVP?
I think he said Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna pick somebody. Well, it's not really on the limb, but I'm gonna pick somebody on the defensive end. I'm going Richard Sherman.
I'm
going Richard Sherman. He's gonna ball out. He even when he recently just talked and they did the when they was promoting the Super Bowl, and Richard Sherman just recently talked. He said he's gonna channel that Mamba mentality going into the Super Bowl. So. And I believe it. And then I'm actually rooting for Richard Sherman to get another ring too, especially how that ended with the Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch didn't get the ball, and Patriots got another championship. But that's another topic.
I'm telling you, Marshawn Lynch. I could talk about that, man. I would love to get him on this show. Having an interview with Marshawn Lynch would be amazing.
Oh yeah, we need. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this guy, man.
Yeah.
Just growing up where we grew up. Oh man, those are the kind of guys that I grew up around my whole life. I was telling Reese, man, I'm clean cut, but I played sports. But man, I'm from where I'm from.
Yep.
Nowhere else.
Vallejo, San Francisco.
The Niners need to get this win. California needs a big moment, not just the Bay Area, but all of California needs this moment.
It's for Nipsey.
It's for Nipsey. It's for Kobe.
It's for Kobe.
Man. So before we,
if the Lakers win this year, I'm rooting for the Lakers.
Hey, I can just imagine LeBron's speech when he's like, "This is for," "This is for you." When he was like talking about Cleveland, it's gonna be emotional if he can get the job done. The Lakers can get the job done for Kobe. But before we end off this show, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Bounce. Look, I'm coming for the crown. Come to knock you down. Come to knock her down. Then stack a pound. Worth the money, yeah. Worth the bricks, yeah. You stupid dumb. Hey, she stupid thick. Alright, we
gotta cut it.
So this is
we gotta cut this show, and we're back from the break, and we're gonna cap off this show with a music trivia question I have for Reese and Jakeem. So here's the question, and since everything this whole show is kind of reflecting around Kobe, this question also has to do with Kobe, but it's a rap lyric. So someone in hip hop made a song about Kobe, and this was the quote, one of the quotes from the song itself. So I'll read it out to y'all. It goes, "Kobe doing work, 2-4 on my shirt. He's the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse." Who would you say made that line about Kobe?
That's like, I don't know.
Run that back one more time.
So
those are some real bars, dude.
Kobe doing work, 2-4 on my shirt. He's the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse.
It's crazy because
There's
being
so many people we could think of.
man being into this urban thing, as white people would say, we should know all of these rap lyrics. Like, oh my goodness, and that's stumping me right now.
Okay, I know it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Damn, I wish there was a
So how
buzzer.
we know that? I just answering it and then
Just buzz. Buzz in. I got it.
Oh, hey, so before you say yours, who would you say, Jakeem?
Who would I say? I literally, when
So
I
it's
first
rap
heard
and-
it, I thought J. Cole because that's the only person I care about.
So what's the prize? I'm already thinking.
I hope J. Cole said something like
You want
that.
you want some more
And I just
chips?
don't
You want
remember.
Some more tips, bro. This ain't poker, bro.
I'm just
I would
This
love
ain't
that.
Subway, bro.
Let me get some free poker chips one day.
But you said J. Cole?
I mean, if not J. Cole, that sounds like some
I got a
vintage.
song right now.
That sounds like some vintage like rap. Like I want to say Tech Nine's really good.
We just talked about him,
Did we?
or we mentioned him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not good with remembering things. My other people know why. Yeah, you guys. I'm just gonna put J. Cole and get that one wrong.
J. Cole, okay.
I got it here.
You don't know it. What's the matter?
Actually, the person who said this was Meech's pick for like album of the year.
A$AP Rocky.
2 Chainz.
Oh, he said 2 Chainz said it?
2 Chainz.
Y'all both are wrong.
What?
Y'all both are wrong on this one. This is actually an old song. It's an old song, and the name of the song is Kobe Bryant,
Who made a song called Kobe Bryant?
Lil Wayne.
Oh, see,
How did I not know?
that's
Lil
one of the
Wayne
greatest
with you, man?
lyricists.
How did you
I
not
always
know?
leave back to Lil Wayne with you, man. I
All
could have
roads,
sworn 2 Chainz said that.
all roads
man.
lead back to
Nah.
Wayne. All roads lead back to Wayne.
All roads.
Hey, I still get the chips.
I mean, you can get some, but
Damn chips.
Yeah, but you won by default. Though. It's not really a win.
So we're gonna close out this episode of the Voiceless with our closing words on Kobe. So starting with Reese, you can say anything you want to say. The mic is yours. What do you want to leave the people with?
I just want to leave people with the vision of just me as a kid, just looking up to Kobe, being a Lakers fan because of Shaq and Kobe, and just having posters on my wall, and like ever since I could remember, I'm a hooper, and ever since I can remember, Kobe Bryant has been like the best, if not one of the best hoopers in the world, and just his demeanor, his attitude, the way he approached the game, like he inspired a lot of people, not only in basketball but in life, to just attack and just stay on the attack, and just him and his daughter having to pass away that they did is just very it's still sad. It's gonna take a minute for me to like actually accept it, because I'm still in disbelief.
Yeah. And Jakeem.
Man, disbelief. That is like the main. It's hard to believe that Kobe's gone. I mean, he's otherworldly. He's sometimes bigger than life, as people would say. I mean, before meeting you guys, and in 10th grade, 9th grade, I had no idea what basketball was. Like, I mean, my whole life, I was literally searching for an identity. So, I mean, I had no father, no real guy to show me what things were about. But, you see passion and drive in other people, and it's easy to, like, just get behind them, support them, always want them to do good. And Kobe was that guy for me. Like, I mean, I can't say I was a Kobe fan. I always watched his games. It wasn't about basketball. I just wanted him to be successful. Kobe was a leader. That's like something I will always want to be. Like, I like people that just do it the right way, man.
And I'm going to just leave y'all with a quote from Kobe from his book, Kobe Bryant, The Mamba Mentality, How I Play. And that quote is, I'm going to read it out to you. It says, "The mindset isn't about seeking a result. It's more about the process of getting to that result. It's about the journey and the approach. It's a way of life." I do think that it's important in all endeavors to have that mentality. And that's pretty much how he defined the Mamba mentality. It's not about trying to get this materialistic thing per se. It's about trying to be the best version of yourself. So with that being said, I know for me, Kobe just trying to embody that same mentality, trying to bring us all together, trying to unify people in the Bay Area, not only my family, but, y'all basically like my family too. So just trying to unify all of us so that we all can be at our very best. And to me, that's what Mamba mentality is. So with that being said, this is the Voiceless podcast, and we will never be silent. Thank you for watching. Yeah, we'll never be silent. So thank y'all for watching this.
Free man.
8 and 24.
A free man.
Yeah.
We don't ever have to shut
Tired
up.
them jerseys.
Yeah. So rest in
League
peace,
wide.
Kobe.
We don't shut up and dribble out here.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace
Rest
to
in peace,
all the
Kobe.
families
Rest in peace, Tiana.
out
Rest in
there.
peace to everybody in that crash.
Yeah. And our thoughts and prayers are with each and every one of you and all the families that were affected by it. But thank you for listening. You can leave comments. You can let us know what you think of that freestyle. You can let us know about.
Let us know.
Let us know. But
Nice.
but
Good.
once again, we thank you for watching. Rest in peace, Kobe, and let's all try to be the best versions of ourselves and really,
Prayers out to Vanessa
yeah,
and the rest of the girls.
yeah. So this is the Voices podcast. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry I can't be with you tonight. However, I couldn't completely miss the chance to take a moment to share some thoughts with all of you. The lesson I cherish the most is how important it is to love what you do. If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. I once had a guidance counselor tell me that I shouldn't play basketball, that it would never amount to anything for me. His negativity towards me made me stronger. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it. So with that, I'll let you carry on with your evening. Please know I'm thinking of you, supporting you, and encouraging you always. Peace.